Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing, and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself, and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in.
Hello, everybody. This is Philly from the Ending Body Burnout Show. We have a really special episode for you today. Chris is coaching a brave soul, digging into her perfectionism, controlling and proving patterns, and persistent tinnitus. So Chris is coaching Kelly Bell. We know Kelly through a business program that we are both in, and Kelly has also done the answers phase of our Ending Body Burnout method, so I'll connect the dots, some lab testing and a supplement protocol. And she reached out because there were things that still weren't quite right, and she started suspecting that maybe there's something deeper going on at a metaphysical level. So these live root cause coaching sessions are essentially looking deeper into the unconscious mind, looking at patterns and programmings and why the body is feeling burnt out, or why there are health issues or emotional type triggers or issues happening in the first place. Now, Kelly was super generous, so beautiful and honest and vulnerable and open in this session. And I wanted to give her a little shout out for her biz as well, because you will hear in this podcast how much she loves what she does and how much she loves helping her people. So she is a former burned out teacher and now owner of the Learning Network. I've popped her link in the show notes if you do want to learn a little bit more about what she does, especially if you're a teacher. In her business, she supports other PDHPE, CAFs and HMS teachers to protect their precious time, energy and well-being so they don't end up burned out like she did. Kelly has created her dream life, and she is pretty healthy, yet she continues to feel the pressure to do more in her business and in her family, and like she's just feeling like she's shouldering a lot of responsibility. And while she's worked on her health, including lab testing, gut protocol, mould removal that I mentioned earlier, she is struggling with chronic tinnitus, and so she has shown up today raw and vulnerable to look deeper into potential metaphysical root causes. So I want you to send some virtual energetic love out to Kell, because it is a rare honor to be able to listen to a very, very personal coaching session. And if you really resonate with the way that we coach, and probably even resonate with some of the things that Kell has been struggling with, and you'd like to learn more about how to unravel your own perfectionism, overdoing, controlling, proving type patterns, in January next month, we will be holding a free 3-day live coaching experience called Unravel Perfectionism and End Your Body Burnout. It's going to be epic. Chris and I, when we run these live coaching weeks, which really only happen every few years, and they are in conjunction with the opening of doors to our Ending Body Burnout Method program, which is our 6-month healing root cause accelerator. We show up as if in a way that we show up for our clients. So you get real life coaching, you get us in your corner for a whole week, and it's a great opportunity, one, to get your own insights. Even we've had people have transformations from the free content, and also just to suss out the way that our functional medicine practice works. We definitely aren't your traditional standard functional medicine practice. We really look at the deep root causes that go beyond just your diet and sleep patterns. So I'll pop that in the show note link if you would like to, the link in the show notes. If you would like to sign up to that, you can just head below. And also, if you are keen to join our Ending Body Burnout Method program, we only open 3 times a year and we'll be opening again to our waitlist on the 20th of Jan. Go down to the show notes, pop your name on the waitlist link. The benefit of that is not only will you secure a spot, we only have limited spaces as our program isn't just a course. It's way more than that. And you also get one-on-one consulting and coaching sessions inside the program. So we only have limited spaces. And also those on the wait list get exclusive access to over $500 worth of early bird bonuses. So you definitely want to be on that wait list if you're keen to join the method. Okay, let's go over to today's episode.
G'day guys, and welcome to this episode of the Ending Body Burnout Show. We have a guest. We have Kell. Kell, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's a bit of a different one today. We get to do a live coaching call, you and I. We get to have a conversation, see if we can work from a problem that you've got that you don't want to an outcome that you want that you don't got. So before we get into it, welcome. And do you want to just give a little bit of an overview about who you are, what you do, all that sort of stuff?
Yep, no worries. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on today. My name's Kell. I am a mother, first and foremost, of 2 beautiful girls, Cass and Lex. They're 14 and 11, growing up very quickly. I've been married to my husband nearly close to 20 years. We've been together for nearly 30. We live on the Central Coast. I am a recovering perfectionist, but also I am a teacher, a PDHPE teacher in New South Wales in Australia. And I left the classroom, which I absolutely loved, back in July 2020. I was burnt out. I didn't see the symptoms and the signs, but I could kind of feel it rearing its ugly head just after COVID, as many educators probably remember those days, and, you know, parents and everyone. It was a bit of a testing time, but now I get to work with PDHPE and community and family studies teachers. I've got a few memberships and resources, but, you know, I love what I get to do. I feel like I'm making a bigger difference. It was a pretty shit time, to be honest, but I feel like I'm kind of, in a really good space now that I get to work with teachers that I love. So, yeah, it's a bit about me. Love the gym, running, you know, doing all the things.
Awesome. Oh, thanks so much for coming on. I love words. I love listening to things people say, and when it's the first time I've got to chat to somebody, I listen to what you're saying, and I can write a few questions down to just to make my understanding of what's going on in your map, in your mind. Like, as you're saying what you're saying, you've got a movie running, you've got, when you talk about COVID, your experience of COVID, you know, we might have similarities, but at the end of the day, what you see in your mind, what you remember, is going to be your version of that. And so I think that would be really interesting to dig into your experience of COVID. You said it was a testing time. Why was it so testing for you specifically?
Yeah, for me specifically, I was, you know, a bit of a backstory. I had just been, I suppose, demoted from a position at school. I was temporary. The boss didn't want me to continue in that leadership position. So I kind of went into the year after going, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to do everything I can to prove to them, you know, that I'm a good teacher, that I deserve a leadership position at the school. So I helped our school go online during COVID. You know, some of our teachers, God love them, didn't know how to send an email. So let alone getting on Google Classroom and presenting via Zoom and working with their kids online. And I think that was kind of like the prelude to like then becoming, you know, everything then happening after that I tried to do so much to help them, and it kind of just got thrown in my face. Let alone having 5 senior classes, teaching them. So, you know, in New South Wales, we have the HSE, our end of schooling exams. I had 5 of those classes. It was that pressure, but also I loved what I got to do. I actually loved being at home because I didn't have the people who were at my school annoying the absolute bejesus out of me coming into my classroom. So I loved that side of things. I was trying to teach our children on, at home, as well as having my HSC classes. So the second kind of wave of COVID in New South Wales, we actually sent our girls back to school. So they probably spent a bit of term 2 at school. I think it was term 2. It's all a bit of a blur, but nearly 5 years ago. So I loved being at home working with my students. I thrived, in that, working with them. But I was getting messages left, right, and centre from teachers at school, especially people who were in my faculty, in the PE faculty. And, I was just kind of, I suppose, demoted from being the head teacher PE, and then them still messaging me. And I didn't have firm boundaries back then. They were messaging me at stupid hours because they were probably trying to survive as well. And I didn't see it like that. I saw it as, I think, threatening to my space and, I say my magic in the classroom, and it was online. But then, that juggle of, as a lot of people experience around the world, to teach your own kids at home, but also work and, earn an income. So during the second wave of COVID, it was probably just after that, we came back to school. And then in the July, I left teaching. So I left the classroom, left a job I absolutely loved. So although it was a tough time at home with that balance, it then I think that was probably what sent me, maybe. And it was probably a combination of everything, anyway.
What year? July, what year? That was 2020 or 2021?
2020.
2020, yeah. What a year. What a time. Right.
What a shit show. You reckon a shit show for most people?
Oh, man. I feel so blessed to live in Tasmania. Oh, dear.
So we didn't have firm restrictions, but we were still part of that greater Sydney. So, we couldn't go to the shops. We couldn't go to the beach. Although we did sneak down to a few of our local beaches where it was quite secluded and go for a swim. Daniel and I, my husband and I, absolutely loved COVID at home with the girls. We ended up, our dining, well, it's not really our dining, it's our bench, but we made that into a table tennis court. And, look, we had a really good time with the kids, but just that pressure of, teaching 5 HSC classes, having these other women message me and contact me, there was no boundaries with hours and times. And if I could just do my job and teach my kids, that would be, Anyway, look, silver linings.
Yeah. You said it was a tough time at home with balance. Why was it tough for you? See if you can remember back to then.
I remember it really well. I think, as an educator, I would, do the best by the kids, give it my all, put everything into my teaching. And I loved the classroom. I loved my kids, loved my students, loved the job, even parts of it that some teachers don't enjoy, like reports and programming, creating resources. I love that side of things. But I think the pressure was probably coming from so many different angles that I was kind of, finding it hard to balance that. And potentially have the strategies to actually go okay, I need to make sure, my students are okay, make sure my girls, our kids are okay. And then also have the added pressure of the staff that were contacting me, around the clock, when I kind of suppose knew that I wasn't their leader, but they were still coming to me for leadership and advice and support. And I think things would be different if I hadn't had them. If I just had my students and my children, I think I would have been able to kind of cope with those 2 people, in my face, groups of people in my face. But I think the other staff just really got to me, and yeah, I just came back from COVID and went, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And I thought the only option was to actually leave the classroom. Like I could have gone to another school, but I was in massive self-protection mode.
Mm.
And yeah, I didn't want to feel like that ever again.
Okay. Shortcutting to perfectionism. I just going there. Um, was that a part of the pressure? You know, this pattern of perfectionism, or did that show up? Yeah.
I am a recovering perfectionist. I am a lot better now, but there are still tendencies that I'm like, I just want to get it right, make sure it's all perfect. As a kid, I was similar, to what I am now, that I want everything to look good and to be good. And I'm assuming we'll probably dive into why it's like that.
Yeah.
Um, I think I've become better as a parent. Like when you have kids, that like the house can't be perfect. Um, everything can't be, looking good. Um, and you can't control, what your kids do. Like you're there to guide and to educate and to lead them and nurture them, but you can't do everything for them. And I've learned that the hard way.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it was probably a combination of like, I can not control my students, I can support them, I can help my children, but the other stuff, I had no say or no like no control over their behaviors and what they said and what they did. But I actually didn't put those boundaries in place to say, no, you're not contacting me at 10 o'clock at night to ask ask me just one question. That one question turned into half an hour later. So yeah,
Mm.
look, when you give of yourself to everything, and when people kind of don't respect, who you are, what you're about, yeah, it was a tricky time.
Hmm. So what's a problem around where it might be around your perfectionism, or it might be around something else? What's a problem that you think might be an interesting direction to take our conversation today, that there might be a bit of a problem that, like, if you could just, as the crow flies, just go straight there. What do you think might be an interesting thing to chat about, that you would get an outcome that
Uh,
you'd actually like?
yeah, I think how to kind of not let other people's perception of me maybe not get to me, other people's feelings. I think like when that saying, when you surround yourself by people that light you up, that's all well and good to say that. But then when people do come into your energy or your space and are different to you or don't have that same values, or yeah, I don't know. I think there's probably two things there, but uh, is the root cause my perfectionism? Potentially. I know that everyone can't be like me, and I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or form. Um, and we're all different. That's what makes the world go round.
Mm.
I think letting other people get to me is a massive issue that I've had.
Talk me through that. Like, how is that a problem specifically? Like, how does that turn up? What does that look like?
Yeah, I think probably when I was a teenager with friends, like, but you get over that pretty quickly as you move through the teenage years. But I think for me, family has been something that's quite tricky. You can't kind of say, oh, we're not friends anymore. Like family is family forever. And I think for me, I feel a lot of pressure as the eldest daughter of my family. So I'm one of four. There's a 9-year gap between me and my youngest sister. She did say when we were kids, Kell, you're not my mother. I'm like, I know that, but I think just that mothering and nurturing kind of role that I wanted to play, probably, a 10-year-old or a 5-year-old back in the day probably didn't appreciate or want me to be her mother because she wanted to be my sister. Like, I get that. Yeah, so I think, when you let other people's perception or energy or negativity get to you, and then I don't know, I think it's draining. It's hard to manage your own energy when other people are, impacting on you.
Mm. Okay. Somewhere in this is a Kelly problem, like
Oh, massive. I know
because just because I'm going to say just because because this is me too. I'm the oldest of four,
that. Yeah.
as well, and just because we are the oldest kids, doesn't mean that we have to have a problem as you describe it. Like somewhere in there's a unique behavior set it's expressing itself in a very uniquely you way. So it's not a oldest of four kids problem. It would be a Kelly problem. What's the Kelly problem, do you think?
Um,
What do you think you do that's worked out to be, I know, this is a problem. I do this.
um, yeah, probably control, maybe
Yeah.
wanting to control everything. Um, maybe.
Mm.
That's probably part of it. I don't know if that stems to like perfectionism. I want to have control of, I don't know, like life has its ups and downs. I know that it's a massive roller coaster, but I don't know, maybe my perfectionism has shown up as control of what other people say or do. Because I just
Oh,
want things to be good and like not perfect, but happy and positive. Yeah.
what happened just then? You started getting teary when you
Yeah,
started
no.
thinking. What happened then?
Um, Probably naming it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then controlling my own emotions about it.
Stop looking at me, Chris.
Yeah.
Pause.
Stop asking me these hard
Why did you
questions.
write down the timestamp? Delete this bit. Ah, Cal, control. Thinking about control, naming control brought a tear to your eye, didn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Want things to be good and be happy. I mean, control, what brings certainty? Definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe it's linked to perfectionism. Maybe it's something else. What's what's the real gift or benefit of controlling? Because you're not broken. You've set your whole life up in this
Yeah,
way.
pretty much. Yeah. Um, like I've always been a very organized person. So I think for me, I kind of want to know where this sounds weird, but kind of want to know where things are going. And if people come in and change that, or if I don't know why I'm getting emotional about this, but if I've set up things in my life that, you know, um, intentionally and people come in and try to affect that, then like I can't control them, but I can control my reaction to them, which obviously is a thing that I'm still working on. Um, yeah.
Here we go. So you 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 were looking around. I'd be interested to watch the replay at this time,
Yeah.
and see
I
where
think
you
I'll
were.
find out words
Yeah,
without getting emotional.
right. That's and so what were you? Was there something specific that you were remembering or thinking about when you said, when I set things up intentionally and people come in and change it?
Yeah.
Can you remember a time that just comes to your mind where that has happened?
Yeah, like it's funny, like you think about, the goals in your life. I wanted to be a PE teacher. That happened. I got a job straight away. We moved up to the Central Coast. That happened. Like we set, dreams and goals that we had for ourselves. And I don't know, like I don't want, like I know that I need to work on ways to manage other people's emotions as well. I think that's part of it. Um, because then it affects me a lot. Like I can't switch off from it. Maybe because I want their life to be just as good as mine. I don't know. Don't know. So I'm pretty happy, pretty lucky, and um, yeah, I don't know why I let people get to me all the time. Not
Some
sure.
Not sure. You set a dream, you make a goal. You wanted to be a PE teacher, for example. You set things up. You have an intention. What's the benefit in having an intention? Like, what do you get out of that? Like, that's got to have some sort of.
Yeah, I think like goals to work towards, something to look forward to, um, achievement, success, happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go even higher than that. Like, what's the benefit of achievement, success, and happiness? What do you get out of
Good
that?
life. Good life.
Yeah, good life. Yeah. Is there
Yeah.
anything oh, sorry, I cut you off. My bad. What was that?
I said a satisfying life.
Bang. Yeah. Is there anything above that? Like, can you go, like, what's the benefit of a satisfying life? What do you really get out of a satisfying life? What does it mean about you?
Um, I think like to like be proud of what I've achieved. Um, you set goals and you achieve them, and then um, to me that's like success, but also the enjoyment of those rewards that you're on this path of life, and we have goals that you achieve. Like, oh, that's awesome. Like, what am I actually capable of? Like, as humans, we're pretty lucky and pretty special that we get to do what we get to do. And I know there's lots of families that don't have that. They don't have that happiness. They don't have a happy life. But if I can look back on my life and go, you know what, I'm actually really proud of the way I've lived my life, the way I show up, my service to my family, my teachers. I've done a good job, and I'm proud of that. Where all that stems from, I'm not sure. Probably family at some point.
Okay. Uh, well, what do you, I think you said should in there somewhere. People should be happy.
Yeah.
Um, why is this something that you have latched onto? This should people should be happy. They should be able to can't they see that I'm only doing this for them?
Yeah. I think it really stems back to, being the eldest and wanting to maybe prove myself as the eldest. Um, Probably prove myself to my family, to mum and dad. Yeah. Got lots
Okay.
of young cousins, I think that sense of responsibility and leadership, maybe I've felt that internally. I don't know.
Mm. So who are you being when you are responsible and when you're um, being when you're showing leadership? Like what kind of woman are you, person are you, human are you?
Um, Maybe someone to look up to, or someone to look up to, um, a supporter for people, an advocate. I know I was definitely an advocate for my siblings when we were kids. Very protective and yeah, if mum and dad ever, because mum and dad got divorced when I was 19. So yeah, there was some rocky times there at home. And I think as the eldest, I tried to protect, my younger siblings from that. And I think even now, like if I think about it, protecting my teachers with, the work that I do through creating resources to help them save time and to get, for them to get time back in their own life. I feel a sense of responsibility, you know, for them even as well, like that I'm doing a good job to help them and to support them. And yeah, does it stem from, childhood potentially? Yeah, maybe.
This is really interesting. Okay, so you mentioned, I'll just rattle off a couple of things I wrote down. If only you could see my notes. I've got like red lines of spelling everywhere. I'm like, responsibility, protecting, advocate, leadership, oldest, happiness, dreams, goals. Written down as words on paper that have spelling mistakes, but written down on paper, those things, they're not inherently bad or naughty or not even inherently good or bad or righteous or great. They're just words. How do you feel about responsibility, and how do you feel about being an advocate, and how do you feel about being protective and being the oldest and being intentional? What does that mean to you?
A lot of weight on my shoulder. And I created that. Like I made that happen with my family, made that happen with my teachers. And obviously I would not take any of that back. Like I thrive off that maybe? I don't know. Am I a sick person that thrives off that type of responsibility and pressure? I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Well, Kel, you're not broken, are you? You're actually a well put together person. you have created this system that you're a warts and all, everything. And it's not inherently bad that you want for these things. Nothing's a problem till it is. Everything's okay till it's not.
Yeah.
I have my spidey senses are thinking, well, maybe actually this has kind of reached a point. a tipping point where actually, I do thrive off it, but maybe
Yeah.
has this reached a tipping point where, well, now it's actually, in some ways, it's actually a bit of a problem
Yeah.
or not. I might be wrong. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. Look at, um, for listeners, I've worked with Philly in what's your program? You're not your body burnout program. You're the
Answers. So connect the dots, doing
Connect the
testing and
Dots. Yeah. So I did a Connect the Dots series of sessions with Philly, and because at the end of October last year, so 12 months ago, I had low iron. Um, and like it showed up, and I was like, okay, I love the gym. Your story has resonated with me a lot, Chris, like, that push at the gym. And I was like, is it that? Like, am I pushing myself at the gym too much? Am I lifting too heavy? Am I just, being a bit of a gym junkie, which I never thought I would become like that. And then when it showed up as a low iron, and then the fault, like coming into like, I think Feb, the like my iron levels were lower, and I then started getting ringing in my ears. I was obviously then going, okay, what else? My body is telling me something. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it uncovered quite a few things, like with leaky gut. We had mold in our house,
right.
which so I, where I work, it's downstairs. We had some, heavy rain. We had a tree fall through our balcony.
All
We then
right.
had water come through under the house, and we kind of we fixed the balcony, but then obviously there was mold growing in our spare room, and I work right next to our spare room. So yeah, like thank God I even, had a conversation with Philly about, all of this, to then go, okay, well, let's get rid of the mold, kind of sorted that out. But then I still have the ringing in my ears. I haven't got my iron rechecked. That's on the list. I feel really good in myself. I feel, the fittest I ever have been, but I know there's something going on. And obviously, as you guys talk about a lot, the root causes, the mold, the low iron, gut related, all that type of thing. But really, at the end of it, there's this other layer that, we're talking about today that, is that the ringing in the ears, or is that, a combination of the mold? We don't know. But I know that I need to develop some strategies to, to overcome that lack of control that I feel when other people are in my space, or my perfectionism.
Yeah, this is also really interesting, Kel. I love metaphorical meanings of symptoms. Not as a clear diagnosis, but as a talking point. It's really funny how sometimes, actually a lot of times, the metaphor holds great meaning, and I ringing in the ears, and I just think, okay, what else is a ringing in the? I'm thinking Jiminy Cricket, like just this constant. What in your mind as you're experiencing life and you're pushing yourself, well, not just at the gym, but you're pushing yourself in your career, in your family, you're pushing towards achievement and goals. What's your intuition telling you? Like, what's that little voice ringing in your ears?
Maybe it's no, keep going, like keep pushing. Be someone that other people look up to, not just, my siblings, but teachers. And maybe it's, I don't know, it's probably connected to what happened to me 4 years ago, but who am I trying to prove? Like, I don't know, like I've got it all. I've got a really good life, a great career, and beautiful kids, beautiful family. But there's still something that, I don't know, I'm chasing, I suppose.
Here we go. Proving, chasing. Okay, so what kind of person, if you think about other people, what kind of people would try and prove or defend or chase? What kind of people do that?
I always will go to like people who have high expectations or, clear goals, people who work hard, people who, I don't know, like are successful. I don't know.
Yeah. And then if you chuck somebody up on it in a witness stand, or I don't even know if we do that. I've never been to. Is that a thing? Yeah, just on TV, people go on stands. But then they're, are you guilty? Do you deny it? And then they've got to like, prove themselves.
Yeah.
All the lawyers in Australia are like, no, you
Work
don't.
hard.
So it's, if we have this part of us that feels either a part of us feels guilty, or a part of us feels under attack, or a part of us feels accused in some way, we'll prove. No, I don't.
Yeah.
See, look at me.
Yeah.
I have a house, I have a family, I have the things, I have the stuff, I have the people.
Yeah.
So proving is usually a management or a cover up or a strategy to defend yourself when you're under attack or under threat.
I couldn't say threaten before, like when you said, it's either that, it's the success stuff, the hard work, or it's the threatening, like you question, and this, like I still keep going back to what happened to me in the classroom. I honestly can't move past it. I don't know why. I think because I felt threatened for, I loved teaching. I absolutely loved it. And they threatened like my passion, my vocation. And I think, I don't know, like, am I still trying to prove those people wrong? And I shouldn't let them get to me. Like, it's not, it's, I am living like an absolute dream now. I get to create the most amazing things for my teachers. But there's probably still that, see, I'm a good teacher. Like, you kind of, you set me out of the classroom, but I did it. That was me. It wasn't them. I made that decision to walk out of the classroom and leave teaching. Anyway.
I am a good teacher.
Yeah.
I have the attributes of a good teacher. I have the skills and capabilities, behaviors. I set this up. My environment that I did. I did this. This is me. Are you not entertained? What's that movie?
Is that Gladiator?
I think it's Gladiator, isn't it?
That's my husband's favorite movie. Oh my God.
Is it? That's so good. Right. I have goosebumps. Maybe it's because I just watched the preview this morning of the new one. Okay. All right. So here it is. You're not just doing teaching. You're not just the person who rocks up for a paycheck.
No, I'm not counting down. Look, one of them said, "Oh, I've got 18 months until I retire." I'm like, "Oh shit, you've got a pretty bloody boring life. You've worked out how many months left. I mean, how many terms left until you retire."
Yeah. Drink break. Okay. I had a belief that I was unlovable and that nobody likes me, and it was unconscious. It wasn't at the top. I didn't know I was thinking this. I and so I set about trying to prove, nah, I am lovable. See, I do the things, I do the stuff.
Tick.
Tick, see, tick. Can't you see? Look, this whole thing is ticks. Tick, tick, tick. I do that. Um, I would even get myself into activities that were interesting, like pulling trucks and lifting
Yeah.
logs and rocks and throwing things and um, you know, mainstream kind of weird. And so it's like,
Mainstream.
right, yeah. It's like, Chris, you do that? Wow, no one can do that. Yeah, see, I am love. You like me, don't you? And then all of a sudden, injury. Oh, I can't do the thing. Oh, I hurt my foot. Uh, I also played American football, which is a little bit different to mainstream Australia. You know, people play AFL or footy, rugby. And my foot snapped. I broke my tibia and fibula and some of the bones in my ankle, and my foot turned. That was a big injury, and I couldn't walk properly. And all of a sudden I couldn't do the things that I'd placed. So nobody else had placed this on me. I'd placed it that I'm the guy who does the stuff. And if I can't do the stuff, oh, who am I? My whole world just started crashing. Then, in addition to injuries, my body systems started going nuts. Not working the way they could or should. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, who you are came under attack.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I get a lot of joy and satisfaction out of education. So yeah, I suppose I was under attack. Like, you were questioning what I absolutely loved, what I was so passionate about. Yeah, you question what has been part of my life for such a long time, but it doesn't define who I am.
Oh,
I'm more than a teacher. Like, I know that.
I think a lot of you knows that,
Yeah.
but there's a little bit of a Republican Democrat conflict going on. There's a little bit of a Gaza Israel conflict going, like, inside of you. There's a large part of you that knows I'm more than just a teacher, but there's a part of you that says, nah, this is who we are. This is this is the thing. This is us. Who are we? Teacher. What do we want? Teach.
Yeah, pretty much.
Teach.
And yeah, this is me. Like, this is who I am. It's defined me for so long. Yeah, and when that got threatened, but I even think, not just a teacher, as you know, in the classroom, but the eldest of like 40 odd cousins, the eldest of my family. Yeah, not just the teacher in the classroom, but the teacher in life, and yeah, with family too, I think.
I resonate so much with you. that existential identification of what I do that you're
Yeah.
talking about, family, cousins. I think I might have you in the cousins department though. My mum's the second of 12, and I think I've got over 100.
Oh my God.
And I'm the oldest grandson in that
Yeah.
part.
Well, I was the eldest I am the eldest granddaughter on my mum's side.
Wow, we're twins.
And I'm the eldest granddaughter on my dad's side too.
Right.
There's two boys there's 3 boys no, 4 boys older than me, but I'm the eldest granddaughter on both sides actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
get it. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put my map on you because you're uniquely you, but there's enough going on with you that I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's interesting.
And didn't you do exercise science at uni?
Yeah.
You're not competitive at all, are you?
Yes, I am. I'm more competitive than everyone, but I'm humble. I'm the most humble person that I know. I'm more humble than you. Oh, okay. So, I think most people would resonate as they're listening to the doing of the things and ticking of the boxes and achievement and goals. Most people who listen to our podcast are like, yep, that's me. And then there might be a few people that are kind of similar to us, that big family, oldest in that big family, get into a leadership role in family, but also in career. And a part of you knows that you're more than what you do, Kell.
Yeah, I know.
But there's this part of you, this part of you, maybe it's a minority, maybe it's a majority, whatever. There's a part of you that actually doesn't have that integrated yet. It believes that I am what I do. I am a teacher. I am the oldest cousin. I am the mother of my children and my sibling. So I get it, and I think this could take us down another path. But what I would do if we had more time together, I would look at bringing those two parts together. It's like that both of them would want the best for you. The part of you that knows you're not the teacher, that you know, that part of you, whatever.
Yeah.
What would you call that part? That would
I don't know, the teacher part of me.
yeah. And then you've got the other part that believes you are a teacher though. Like, you know, like you've got
Yeah.
If you were to bring those two together, you would actually, before I even go there, the part of you that has attached meaning and identity to you being a teacher, to you doing what you do, there is a benefit to that. And that part of you is only wants the best for you.
Yeah.
It's looking out for you. It's got your back. That's not a busted, evil part of you. That's a beautiful part of you, Kell. It just needs to learn something.
It's good.
Yeah, it's great at learning.
It loves learning.
What's something that you wouldn't mind teaching that part of you that attaches identity to what you do?
To recognize that, like, I think a lot of teachers probably resonate with this a lot, that like you are the teacher, but you're also like you. It doesn't define who you are. It's a big part of you, but it doesn't just define, you know, what you're about and who you are. You know, I know there's a lot of teachers who feel like that. I know certainly a lot of teachers in my memberships and stuff, there is so much emphasis on them as the teacher that they often find, and even, I'm talking about myself, but find it hard to detach, themselves from that, and just to be me, just to be Kell, like Kell, who is a mum who loves, the beach and the gym and running and, the outdoors. I think to separate the two of me, essentially, and focus more on that one, like the Kell, not the teacher.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That sounds lovely. And how would life be different if you could do that?
Probably not to get so caught up in that, like the teacher and the push and the drive and the proving. And I do have a really good balance with work now, but I never switch off. Like, I at 3:00, whatever, go and pick up the girls, take them to dancing and cheerleading, all of the things we do as busy parents. But I'm still thinking, oh, what else could I do to make it easier for the teachers, to help them, to make them feel like they're, they don't get burnt out like I did. And, that part of me it's hard to switch off. So I think, finding strategies that, help me switch off in the afternoon from my own self, from my own head. Now that it's summer again, going back to the beach and, reading, potentially doing some journaling. And I don't have, and I think I shared this in one of the burnout survey, that I don't really have much down. Like mine's always, gym, running, busyness, taking the kids everywhere, working through the day, but then there's no slow for me. I find it hard to sit on the lounge and just chill, just to relax. But I know that's definitely a missing ingredient in my life, just that slow and that stop, and that, it's okay to rest. Everything will be okay. Yeah.
So if you were to put that into an identity type statement, can you say this in your own words? Like, what kind of person would you be?
I am a relaxed, rested Kell. Not the mum, not the teacher, not the wife. Yeah, I'm relaxed and rested.
How can you be both? Like, what if you were to smush them all together? You got these two beautiful parts: the rested, relaxed Kell, and you've got the who's like slow and rest. I said that twice. But then you've got the teacher, the up, the mum, the cousin, the sister. How can you? What does that look like if they were to come together into this beautiful combo package?
The combo package would be content.
Oh, content.
Content. Nice. Yeah, content with life, content with the balance. Just content.
Just content. Can you wrap that into an affirmation or a mantra or a statement?
I am content with myself. I'm content with my life. I don't know. I don't have any creative juices happening, but I'm sure I'll think of something later.
That sounded creative. That was beautiful. I am content with myself. I am content with my life. Sounds nice.
I always like to have like a third one and like the third one. Maybe just saying I'm content. Like
I am content.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's a nice little triplicate right there.
Yeah.
I'm content with myself. I'm content with my life. I am content.
I'll be writing that down.
Nice. That's awesome. That's beautiful, Kell. I'm so grateful for you coming on and chatting with me and having this conversation. I am content that this has been a beautiful, beautiful time.
Nice.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with me and with our listeners. I also know that you do great work in this world. Can you do a little plug for what you do right now? What?
Well, you probably see a couple of things behind me, but I work with PDHPE teachers in New South Wales. So we have a number of memberships for K to 6, 7 to 10. We have a special group called the CAFS Collective, which is a special HSC course, as well as our Health and Movement Science course in Year 11 and 12. But look, my mantra has been to protect the precious time, energy, and wellbeing of our teachers. So you can find us at thelearnnet.com or head over to Instagram, kellybell.coach. And if you're a teacher outside of New South Wales, we are also looking at expanding our wings slowly. At some point, I don't know, we have a lot of changes happening in New South Wales. So that's us. But I love what I get to do. What happened to me in the classroom hasn't defined me, and I see it as a massive silver lining, and it made me stronger. But obviously there's still a lot to work through. If teachers are listening to this, it's really important to talk to someone like Chris, but also a trained professional to seek some support that you need. Anyway, thanks, Chris. Thanks
Awesome.
for making me feel very vulnerable, but I really enjoyed our discussion, the rawness.
It was awesome. Thank you so much, Kell. All right. Well, we'll leave links in the show note to what you do, Kell. But thanks again. I'll hopefully chat to you soon.
Thanks, Chris.
All righty. Catch you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout Assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.